Perplexity Computer new autonomous AI agent update. Now, this week, Perplexity dropped four massive updates at once: personal computer, computer for enterprise, mobile access for Perplexity Computer, and they added Nvidia's brand new Nematron 3 supermodel to the whole system, along with a bunch of other stuff. And all of it landed in the same week. All of it changes the game for anyone paying attention. So let me hit each one. First, personal computer. This is the headline update. Perplexity took their cloud-based computer that launched in February and brought it to your actual physical machine. You take a Mac Mini, you leave it running, and Perplexity's AI agents get full access to your local files, your apps, your browser sessions, everything on that device. It works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whilst you sleep and whilst you're on vacation, whilst you're literally doing anything else. The CEO, Aravind Srinivas, said it best: a traditional operating system takes instructions, an AI operating system takes objectives. You do not tell it to click here, open this, type that. You tell it what you want done, and it figures out every step to get there on its own. Now, why does this matter? Because up until this week, Perplexity Computer only worked in the cloud. It could browse the web, use online tools, generate code, do research, but it could not touch your local files. It could not open the spreadsheet sitting on your desktop. It couldn't access that folder of client documents you've been organizing for months. Personal computer changes that. Cloud plus local, that is the unlock. And here's the part that matters for the OpenClaw comparison. Personal computer requires user approval for sensitive actions. Every session creates a full audit trail. There's a kill switch you can hit to stop everything immediately. You can control it remotely from any device. And why am I emphasizing the safety features? Because what's been happening with OpenClaw? OpenClaw is the fastest growing open source project in the history of GitHub. 200,000 stars in 90 days, pass React, pass Linux. Nothing has ever grown that fast. I mean, it does something similar. It gives an AI agent access to your computer so it can work on your behalf, just like Perplexity Computer. However, there's a big difference here. And that's the problem. Researchers found over 40,000 vulnerabilities in OpenClaw. 40,000. There was a critical flaw called Clawjacked that let hackers take over your AI agent just by getting you to visit a malicious website. That flaw got patched, but then more showed up. Cisco's security team tested a third-party OpenClaw skill and found it was stealing data and running prompt injection attacks without the user even knowing about it. So that's what we're talking about here. Now, one of OpenClaw's own maintainers posted a warning on Discord saying, if you can't understand how to run a command line, this is far too dangerous of a project for you to use safely. And on March 10th as well, China's cybersecurity regulator issued an official government warning about OpenClaw's security risks. The Chinese government told state agencies and banks to stop using it on office computers. That is not a blog post from some random security researcher. That is a government telling its biggest institutions to back away. Now, don't get me wrong, OpenClaw is incredible technology. It's open source, it's free, it's wildly powerful. Peter Steinberger has built something historic there. The creator got hired by OpenAI because of it. The project is moving to an open source foundation. The community around it is massive and passionate and building amazing things. But Perplexity looked at everything OpenClaw built and said, okay, we're going to take that same idea and we're going to wrap it in enterprise-grade security, sandbox environments, audit logs, SOC 2 Type 2 compliance, permission controls, a kill switch, and we're going to run it on 20 different AI models instead of whichever single model the user configures. And when asked about the difference between Perplexity Personal Computer and OpenClaw at the developer conference, Srinivas said Perplexity Computer is meant for serious people, which is a big statement in itself. Now, that is a bold statement, and some people are going to disagree with it. But when you look at the security track of both products right now, you can see where it's coming from, right? That's what it's about. And here's the second major update. Perplexity Computer is now available on mobile. This might sound small, but think about what it means. Before this week, you'd only access the computer from a desktop browser. Now you can control your AI agent from your phone. You are standing in line at the grocery store and you can tell your AI to go research competitors, build a report, draft emails, and create a website from your phone. And the AI goes and does it in your cloud or your Mac Mini back at home. That's wild. That is a full digital worker you can manage from your pocket. The third update Computer for Enterprise. This is Perplexity taking the system and plugging it directly into business tools. Snowflake, Salesforce, HubSpot, hundreds of other platforms through app connectors. A financial analyst can ask the system to pull revenue by vertical from Snowflake while simultaneously pulling competitive context from the web. A sales team can extract CRM data and market research at the same time, directs the queries, runtime, and delivers structured results. And this is where that 3.25 years number comes from. Perplexity tested Perplexity Computer for Enterprise internally. It's 16,000 queries measured against institutional benchmarks from McKinsey, Harvard, MIT, and BCG. The result, 3.25 years of work completed in just 4 weeks, $1.6 million in labor costs saved. Now, I want to be honest here, Perplexity has not released a full methodology behind that claim. We do not know exactly how they calculated years of equivalent work. The register pointed that out, and they are right to question it. Anytime a company gives you a number that dramatic, you should ask how they got it. But even if you cut that number in half, even if you say, okay, maybe it was only a year and a half of work in 4 weeks instead of 3.25 years, it's still insane. That is a level of productivity that would have been science fiction 2 years ago. And enterprise teams can now teach the system custom workflows. They can collaborate with it directly in Slack through DMs and shared channels. So the AI is not sitting in some separate app you have to go visit. It's right there in the tools your team already uses every single day. The fourth update. Nvidia's Neatron 3 Super is now available inside Perplexity Computer. This one flew under the radar for a lot of people, but it is a big deal. Neatron 3 Super just launched on March 11th. It's a 120 billion parameter model, open source from Nvidia, with only 12 billion parameters active during any task. That means it's incredibly efficient. It delivers 5 times higher throughput than the previous Neatron model, and it has a 1 million token context window. And that means the model can hold an enormous amount of information in its memory at once without losing track of what it's doing. Why does that matter for agents? Because AI agents need to remember what they're working on across long, multiple step tasks. If you tell an AI agent to research a topic, write a fact, fact check it, format it, and then email it to your team, it's a lot of steps, it's a lot of explaining. Most models start forgetting what they were doing partway through. They drift, they lose a thread. Neatron 3 Super's 1 million token context window means it can hold the entire workflow in memory from start to finish. And Nvidia made it completely open. Open weights, open training data, 10 trillion tokens of training data published, the full recipe for how they built it, so that any developer can download it, customize it, and deploy it to their own infrastructure. That's a massive move from the company that makes the chips powering almost every AI system on the planet. The timing is not an accident either. Nvidia's GTC conference starts Monday, March 16th, next week. Jensen Huang is about to take the stage in San Jose in front of 30,000 people. They dropped Neatron 3 Super right before the conference as a preview. And there are rumors Nvidia is about to announce something called OpenClaw, an open source platform that would let businesses build and deploy AI agents across their entire organization using Nvidia's models and infrastructure. If that happens, you're going to have Perplexity Computer, OpenClaw, and OpenClaw all compete for the same space, along with many other Chinese AI technologies. Even Manus are getting in on this, so the AI agent wars are just getting started. If you got value from this, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're serious about learning how to actually make money and save time with AI, and you want a community of people who are all figuring this out together, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching.